Warm. Justin Jefferson. They've been waiting. They have been waiting patiently for you. JJ, I wanted to believe they were here to see us, and I can't lie. They're waiting to see you. And it's the second straight year you joined us here, which we very much appreciate. We appreciate you coming back. It's good to see you. It's hard to believe a whole year has gone by. Right? Isn't that crazy?
For sure.
All right, let's start with. Yeah, Mike's got to be really high, unfortunately.
Y'all gave me?
Now, that's good. That's perfect. That's perfect. All right, you said it yesterday. You want to win. So it was probably harder. You have a career day. You set the record for regular season yardage totals, 223 yards on 11 catches. You break the regular season Sammy White record. But we had Patrick Peterson here the first hour. As we said to him, it would have been even a bigger deal, I think, if you had won the game. And I assume that's the way you feel about it. It's hard to get into celebration mode because clearly you were PO'd that you didn't win. You want to win.
Yeah, just like you said, individually, I'm proud of my performance. Of course, I want to do, whatever it takes for my team to win and be a major role in that factor. But it sucks to have that type of performance, want to get that win, and coming with the loss. It's definitely tough to deal with, but we're still in a good position. We're still leading the division, and we're still good in the playoffs. So we got that loss, but we can move on to next week, and we're about getting that done.
Without getting too technical, you had said during the week, a lot of people, of course, had mentioned to you, well, the Lions had held you down the first game, and you had said, I don't remember the exact quote, something effective. Well, we know what happened.
Yeah.
We got some ideas. Yeah. We got some ways. Clearly, you guys did have some ideas. So, what did you do? In terms of the scheme? What was done that made it more effective for you to dominate in terms of your wide receiver performance?
Yeah. Well, we felt that just the schemes that we have been running, the way teams have been playing me the whole year. We kind of only been running certain routes. So we kind of put like the whole route tree available for Sunday. I was able to run so many different routes, so many different concepts, being able to move in motion so many different times. It was kind of hard for them to really stay with me, to really, double me. So, KO has been doing a great job by putting me in different positions to get the ball. And, we keep on stacking that, and, these wins say so.
So, I've talked to a lot of people about you the last few weeks. We had Brian Billick on. We've had several people, and I've said, in fact, we had Chris Carter on. And I said to Chris, I admit I was probably trying to get him going. Because I said, Chris, he was a great receiver.
Yeah.
Obviously, this team had Randy Moss. And I said, Chris, let me ask you something. Is it crazy to suggest that Justin Jefferson could end up being the greatest wide receiver in Vikings history? And I fully expected Chris, being as competitive as he is, to go, well, let's slow down, calm down a little bit. He didn't. He said, no, it's not crazy at all.
Yeah.
I loved him. I loved him coming out for the draft. Yeah. I felt he was going to be good. And I thought, man, that's high praise when Chris Carter is saying, no, it's not crazy to think about.
Yeah, a funny story, him being my mentor in the combine, pretty much every single day of that week of us being there. And I just remember him actually saying during that time that I was the best receiver in that draft class. And he said I was going to prove so. And, everything that he has said has came to light. He has been with me the whole way of that process. He always gave me encouraging words to keep battling my battles. And keep going out there and just performing at my best ability. I definitely, accept that praise from him by saying that. There's so much more that I have to do in order to be in the same category as them.
What do you think, looking back, the scouts who didn't insist that you got to be the first receiver to go in that draft, what do you think they missed?
They missed a lot. They missed a lot. Me being in the slot my junior year in college, I was productive there. Yeah, but that wasn't the only reason I was productive. And I felt that's what a lot of people missed. Yeah, I had Joe Burrow. Yeah, he won the Heisman. But, I mean, yeah, I got to catch the ball also, you know, and having 111 catches that season, 1,500 yards, that is very hard to do, especially with Jamar Chase on the other side of you. So I didn't really understand the cons of my game, as you want to call it. But I mean, I was glad to prove them wrong and being a versatile receiver coming into the league.
You know, what's interesting about it is I get the sense you're now, you know, established. You are considered, depending on who you want to talk to, the best receiver in the league, or certainly among the very best. Everybody recognizes you now. So it's no longer that they're taking you for granted. Yet, I sense that you share with a lot of great players, no matter how much celebration they get, that you maintain that you're going to always be annoyed.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, go back. I mean, Brady's a good example of that. I mean, Brady is probably, you know, it's the greatest quarterback of all time, and he's still ticked off about where he was drafted and what people thought.
Right.
So is that just how it works, where that's the part of the fuel?
Yeah. I feel like it's always going to be a part of the fuel just because someone in this world is going to think I'm not the number one receiver. I think that's my drive. I mean, my drive is to be a Hall of Famer, to be one of the best receivers to ever do it. So that's my drive. Just always wanting to be the greatest to do it. I always had that drive since I was a kid. So everything I do, I'm always competing at the highest level possible. Don't matter if it's a board game or if I'm playing sports. I always had that in me. My whole family has that in them. But I mean, I just love the game of football, and I just love competing.
Justin Jefferson is with us, Toys for Tots in Eden Prairie at SCHEELS.
Oh, wait, I forgot. I heard you.
You got me my baked?
Yeah.
Look at this. I got baked
I heard you couldn't find them.
I couldn't find, well, these are the baked originals.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the baked ruffles. Let's see what the second one
specific.
is. Baked barbecue. Yeah, but it's the thought that counts. And the baked Cheetos, ladies and gentlemen.
I got you plenty baked.
I appreciate that, man. That's an inside joke. I tweeted today some bitterness that I couldn't get to baked ruffles.
That's funny.
But they got baked. That's all good.
Yeah.
So for you, if you're evaluating you, looking outside yourself, the success to this point through 3 magical seasons individually, how much of it is the physical attributes you have? How much of it do you think is the hatred of losing and the competitiveness? What's the breakdown for you?
I don't know. I just put it all in one category, honestly. I mean, me going out there on the field, I just feel like it's just me. It's just a place where just my mind just goes to blank and I just worry about football. And me going out there on Sundays, it's just my alter ego. You know, that's Jets out there competing, going for those balls. But, you know, I'm just a normal person. You know, I just play video games like every little kid. I just be myself, and you know, I just love just competing and playing football. That's all it is about me, really.
I mentioned we had Billick on, and the name he mentioned. This is another example of how highly you are thought of. Because I said, you know, Randy Moss was a freak, physically taller than you. Yeah. We associate these acrobatic catches, although obviously you had a pretty acrobatic one a few weeks ago. And I said, to me, what your greatness is, it's just like you just make every catch. They aren't always necessarily spectacular. And Billick said that reminded him of Jerry Rice. Now, same thing. He didn't say you're Jerry Rice yet.
Yeah.
But I think Jerry Rice, in a way, as he's playing, was underrated because it just didn't look like they were spectacular catches, but he made every catch, and he ran every route with precision.
Right.
Do you see that? I mean, route running and the precision, how big a part of what you do is that?
Yeah, I mean, route running is a big part, especially in the NFL, because there's so many good guys that study your tape, you know, studying what you're doing every single game. Then there's also good guys in the league. You know, they're also talented at what they do, and their job is defending me. So I mean, whatever they can do, hold or double team, whatever they can do to stop me, that's their plan. They literally game plan specifically on players throughout the week to make sure they don't win the game for them. So it's difficult to go through that and have that on your mind, but route running separates that for you. Just being a good technician, just learning where you need to be on the field, having that connection with your quarterback to say I'm gonna be at this place at this time, and him giving me that trust and just giving me those 50-50 balls and letting me just go get these grabs.
That might be your greatest asset, your greatest value. And by the way, before, it's become very fashionable to throw you out there as an MVP candidate. We were doing it weeks ago, before it was fashionable, because I fully believed it that you should be under consideration even then for MVP for the league. And it's never happened with a receiver, might not, but you should be right there in the conversation. Your greatest attribute might be convincing number 8 to take chances. That's been one of the challenges here. One of the frustrations with Kirk was, all right, does he have enough gunslinger in him? And I think his trust with you has enabled him to say, you know what, I will do more of that. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like every single game he's learning more and more that he can just throw it in my vicinity and I can go and make a catch for him. But I mean, excuse me, he says it every game, just unbelievable catch. I'm just throwing it to a space and you're just going to make that grab. And I tell him every time, I got you, just no matter where it's going to be. I'm that competitor enough to go up and go make those catches no matter where it's at. And I feel like that connection with me and him is growing every single day, every single play. But as long as he's trusting me to go up there and make those catches, I'm going to keep having that confidence to go up there and make them.
Do any corners try to get in your head?
They try.
By what do they do? Verbally? They try to get physical with you? Do they try to talk to you? What's the approach?
A little mixture of all of that. Try to do like a little touch, a little grab every play, like just so like I can be like, stop touching me, like stuff like that, little like knick-knack stuff.
Right.
But it depends on who the person is and their confidence really. Like a Jalen Ramsey, he's confident in his game. He'll talk. A player that doesn't get that much recognition, that's not really big name like that, they don't have that much confidence, so they might not talk as much. So it all depends on the person, their skills, but I don't get too much trash.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you like it? Do you almost welcome it? Do you ever worry that it can get you off your game a little bit or distract you, or do you almost look forward to it?
I like it. I like competing. It's like my brothers coming and saying they can beat me in one-on-one. It's just I love that competitive spirit, and that it makes me go even harder than I was before. But I mean, nobody really tries to do that. So
you mentioned you're 10-3. You're coming off a disappointing performance collectively as a team. A lot of the talk is obviously about the defense. Your coach is talking a lot about that as well. So how do you process this? How do you, because it feels like you're worse than 10-3 and you're not. But because of some defensive issues, are you concerned? Are you concerned about holding this thing together or making sure things don't get, because I know your plans are bigger than good regular season record. The plan is to do something in the postseason. So how concerned are you? What's the approach within the locker room about where this team is at after that loss to the Lions?
Yeah, I'm not really concerned. I mean, we just gotta, be better, execute our plays better, and find better ways to do what we need to do. And just like you said, we're 10-3, and we're not playing as we want to play. So that just goes to show you that there's room for improvement. But there's time to improve also. And I mean, we played fantastic at the beginning of the season, having everybody on the same page. We played great on defense and not so on offense. Now it's kind of the other way around, but I mean, we're confident in the guys in the building to make things right all the way around, the whole team. and we're leaning on each other to fighting for each other, and we want that one goal together. So in order to do that, we all got to be on that same page.
On the Vikings, KFAN, of course, is the Vikings radio network, and after the game yesterday, there's a show called Vikings Fan Line. And so fans call in with ideas, concerns, they vent, they're frustrated, whatever the case may be. So I was on the treadmill yesterday after I'd watched the game, and I almost fell off it because I was at 4:52, guards? Yeah, 4:52 p.m.
Central.
A listener called in and said, here's what the Vikings need to do. This is what they're required to do defensively. They need to have Justin Jefferson play cornerback the rest of the season. Are you willing to make that ultimate sacrifice, be a two-way player the rest of the way in order to save this team's secondary? Would you do it?
I'll stick on the receiver side, on the offensive side. I'll stick what I know best.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm confident in Pat P and the rest of the guys on that secondary side to do what they need to do. I mean, everybody don't like the way we've been playing on that defensive side, but it's a difficult league. It's a tough league to play in. Every week we're getting in everybody's best, but it's not an excuse. We definitely need to play better all the way around, and we can fix that for sure this week.
I thought it was quite a compliment to you. I was a little worried about his mental state because it doesn't seem like it'd be pretty unusual to see that done, but I thought I'd run it by you.
If they asked me to go out there, then you know what I'm saying.
Well, maybe
do what I need to do.
Occasionally, Randy, they like at the end of a game on a Hail Mary. Okay, we just need you to stand in the end zone and knock the ball away. You do that, right? Yeah. But that's very different than saying you're going to play two-way the whole time. Right?
I ain't gonna want to knock it down though. I'm gonna catch it.
That's it. Well, it's even better. An interception, even better. We appreciate you coming to see us, man.
Of course.
This was great.
Of course.
Like I said, I can't believe it's been a year since you were here. Congratulations on a tremendous run. I know, again, yesterday, what you wanted was the victory, and I think it's very clear that's what fuels you more than anything.
For sure.
But we can't congratulate you enough for your first 3 years, and, again, the time you've given us today. Always a good pleasure.
Course.
Oh, real quick?
Real quick, because I know there's a lot of kids here waiting. Justin is going to go take a family shopping immediately after this. However, if we can pull it together during the break, and I'm talking about the adults, if we can get all the kids up here, all of them up here, adults back there, if we can take one big group photo with JJ before he goes to take the kids shopping, that's at least a way to get something here before we leave.
That's a good idea.
I know after shopping he's going to be around here a while, but if you have to leave or whatever. So this is on the adults. Let the kids come up here, one big group picture.
A lot, Guardsy.
We'll go to break, we'll get it done, and that's how it'll roll.
Justin Jefferson, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, man. We'll get a top-of-the-hour break. Chuck Foreman in the 5 o'clock hour here in the Fan.